Yeah, some people know the truth and all the shit that I've been through. Diamond in the rough, it's time to convince you. I'm about to change the world, it's all that I'm in.
All right. Yes, that was so much fun. Okay, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
So good.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is Kevin. You know me, Kevin Hines, Kevin Hines Story. I'm here with my great and wonderful, amazing friend / sister,
Stefani Caminiti from the Inner Ninja Foundation.
Stef Caminiti from the Inner Ninja Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Hope Wins with
Stef
and Kev. And we're here, and we've gone through quite a bit in our lives.
Yeah.
You know, separately from Australia. I'm from America, born and raised in San Francisco. I live with bipolar disorder, Stef. Very severe form, psychotic features. It's a tough gig. Lived with it for the better part of 20 years. It's been very difficult and painful, but you know what, Stef? Hope wins.
Exactly.
Hope wins. And we're going to talk about how we found hope in the places we lived in darkness, and how we found a way to find the light at the end of the tunnel and find a beautiful life.
Yes.
Stef, you're from Australia.
Yes.
Okay, it's easy to tell by your accent that people seem to love and care for all the time. You know what? Why don't you tell us what brought you to found the Inner Ninja Foundation? So your shirt, Inner Ninja Foundation, we're going to talk about that in a minute. But what, actually, let's go back. What happened that brought you to a place of such despair? And how did you find hope, and how did it win?
Okay. Well, it all started, my first memory of a depressive thought, or a thought of, at that time I was 7 years old. I didn't know it was a depressive thought, but all I can remember was not feeling like I belonged, that I was unlovable, and that I was a burden at that age. So I don't actually have any memories of not feeling like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Intense.
it was intense, especially as a kid, not being able to articulate what I was feeling to my parents, because I didn't know what that meant. I just thought I was weird, you know, and I didn't fit in. So going through childhood, early childhood, and then adolescence undiagnosed was a rocky road, and I wasn't until I was 18 years old that I was formally diagnosed with clinical depression and major anxiety disorder and OCD.
Clinical depression, major anxiety disorder, and OCD.
Yeah.
That's a handful for any human being, let alone how old were you?
I was 18 when I was formally diagnosed.
Formally diagnosed at 18, you've clearly been going through these things for a long time, 6 or 7 years of age.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time to go undiagnosed, a lot of time to go untreated, and a lot of time to be in, I imagine lots of pain.
So much pain, and it showed through being really anxious as a kid. So for me, luckily I was good at sport, so that probably saved me throughout those years, because I had OCD and I was obsessed. I became very good at it, and I would train for 4 hours a day, Monday to Friday, and then play all weekend tournaments. So it gave me an outlet. But unfortunately, when I turned 18 and school finished at 17, I lost my first friend to suicide at 17, and things started to go downhill. I quit tennis abruptly, straight after I won the club champs. I had amazing opportunities to further my career in a major way, and I just quit it all, just all like that.
You were set to go to New York to play in some kind of professional tennis tournament to maybe skyrocket that career, if you will, because you were a solid player, you were a contender, and it all fell apart.
It all fell apart. So I had I had two coaches. One was a ex-professional that lived in Australia, and one was an Australian who lived in New York. So she was willing to give me a shot for 1 month. My dad was willing to come with me, and then it just went downhill like that. It felt like a blink of an eye.
What were your parents doing in this situation? What was their original thought during all of this, and were they worried for you?
Yeah, my parents were so worried, and my parents are fixers, so when they couldn't fix this for me, that made them feel really sad and really like not good parents because they didn't know what to do. But you know, it's not their fault. So we went to doctors and you know, they try to read up on it and educate themselves. But unfortunately, I still believe that no one understood me and no one else was going through it. And I didn't open up to them. So, as much as they asked me, I just wouldn't do it. I would avoid that conversation.
Would you say that for a very long time, as you're avoiding the conversation, you were effectively silencing your pain?
Definitely.
You were burying the struggle.
I was burying it, and I thought I could bury it, which I was
so you could control it and handle it.
Yeah, and I was so wrong. And the denial and not wanting to accept that illness, because for so long I thought if I accepted it meant I was accepting that I was a flawed human and that something was wrong with me, and this is why I didn't fit in, this is why I was unlovable, this is why I didn't belong anywhere in the world. I just couldn't find a place where I belonged. And that's so untrue. And I know that depression is the biggest manipulator and the biggest liar, and it had full control over my mind at that point.
Control over your mind, in essence, control over your body and your actions and inactions. And you, okay, Steph, so we know the pain that you've gone through. We can understand the struggles that you had, the tragedies and all that. You often go out and talk about how you went from attempting suicide to finding hope. So can you walk us through that journey?
Yeah, so at age 24, just before my 25th birthday, everything came crashing down. It was a Saturday night and I found myself attempting to take my life. And fortunately for me, my mum, dad and sister turned up and the situation turned around where I survived.
And she's here.
Yes.
Literally right next to me. And I feel very lucky. Steph, the situation turned there. You survived that evening, but what happened to lead you to a more positive life, and how did hope win?
Well, then the days following, I ended up in a psych ward, and that was the first time in my life where I felt like I belonged. I felt like I wasn't getting judged, and I found people that had the similar things to me. And that was the first time in my entire life that I found that. And that was mind-blowing to me. And then that was when I first got that little glimmer of hope, that little half a splinter, because I thought, wow, maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe there is hope. Maybe I can have this life. So it started to put doubt in my mind that maybe all these years that I was thinking and feeling a certain way, I was being lied to by my depression.
And that's the thing about depression, is it is a vicious liar.
Yeah.
And self-loathing is the cousin of depression, if not the close brother or best friend. And self-loathing and depression are absolutely a package deal.
Yeah.
So when you found hope, Steph, who in your family was like the brightest light to give you that consistent, regular kind of hope on a maybe daily basis, and how did that affect you?
Yeah. My mum, my dad, and my sister were constant, and my brother-in-law, constant for me in that time. But the brightest light for me was my firstborn niece, because she was only 6 weeks old when this
What's her
happened.
name?
Anastasia.
Anastasia, back in Australia. You're amazing. Thank you for taking care of this lady, and you didn't even know it, I bet.
She didn't even know it. And
yeah. How old was she?
She was 6 weeks old at that time,
my
or
God.
a couple of months, sorry.
No idea.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, a couple of months by the time that I realised that she was my hope and my little angel on earth. And then my sister's given me with two more after that, so I've got Giordano and Melania as well, which is
Giordano and Melania. Listen to those Italian Australian names. It's amazing.
Yeah. And she was a regular source. So my dad would come pick me up from the psych ward, because that was a place of pain for my sister. My sister did enjoy coming. She would come, but it wasn't a place where we wanted to spend that time and create those memories, because we realized that I needed to make happy memories and have hope in real life, because we know that the transition from being in a psych ward to reality and real world is a very hard one. So we tried as a family to start to implement positive memories and hope in my real life back at home. So I would go visit my sister for a couple of hours and spend time and build that bond with my niece, and it was just so spectacular and special.
So folks out there right now watching this show, let's take a moment. Let's take a moment to reflect on what Steph just said. She said that creating positive affirmations,
Yes.
being around positive people that empathize and care and love you unconditionally, can give you a kind of a regular hope,
Yes.
something that is instilled in you every single day. And your family, the caregivers out there working, like your mom and your dad and your nieces and your friends and your family, they were there to back you up, give you those positive thoughts, affirmations, and kindness and compassion, those warm embraces.
Yes.
We'll talk about embrace in a minute.
Yes.
It's on her shirt, live, breathe, embrace. But folks out there who are taking care of someone who lives with a diagnosable mental illness, someone who lives with substance use disorder, alcoholism, addiction, someone who lives with behavioral health challenges and struggles mentally. If you're taking care of someone like that, you must remember, well, let's first of all, never give up on that person.
Yes, please.
If you are able, never give up on that person,
Yeah.
no matter the pain they're causing themselves and potentially you.
Yeah.
But recognize that there's beauty in that person still. They just need to come out of the fog of that painful depression. And if they've attempted suicide, all the more reason to be closer to them.
Yes.
And let them know how much you care. Now we know that's more easily said than done, but it is not impossible, right, Steph?
It is not impossible. It's not. And at times, don't get me wrong, sometimes days it feels like this is going to be impossible. But when that happens, I find coming right back to the body and the breath, back to extreme basics, and taking it literally minute by minute and then slowly hour by hour, you can get through that day. Because sometimes for us, with people with mental illness, or even people who are just feeling a little bit overwhelmed in life, if you're thinking about too far ahead in the future, even all that you have to do in the day, it can be really overwhelming. But if you break it down into tiny little segments, we can deal with that. We can deal with bite-sized stuff in life. So we just do it. That's what I do, one step at a time.
And let's take a quick moment to give a shout out to a couple of organizations that are saving lives every day.
Yes.
Here in America, if your loved one is in crisis, you can call 1-800-273-8255. You can press 1 for active duty military veterans and servicemen and women. After you call that number, 1-800-273-8255. We'll put it up on the screen. And if you are not a phone call folk, if you are the type of person that likes to text Steph, we got an answer for you. Check out the back of this computer right here. It says, this person saves lives. And you know what? I love that the crisis text line does that and gives away those decals. And I'm not really saying I save lives. We don't believe we save lives. We believe we share messages of hope, healing, and recovery, that it sparks something within somebody, a glimmer, a hope, a light at the end of the tunnel, and they do the work to save their own life, and they change their life, and they change their destiny, their fate, if you will, their purpose. The crisis text line, you can text CNQR to 741-741. Once again, that's CNQR to 741-741. If you're in crisis and you're a texter and not a person that likes to get on the phone, and these days, with all this darn social media, everybody's on their phones all day long and they're not paying attention to us, Steph.
Yes.
Anyway, Steph, can you tell us some of the resources back home in Australia that some of your folks maybe watching at home would like to avail of?
Yes, so if you are in crisis and you need to speak to someone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the people at Lifeline are there, and the number is 13 11 14, and they are incredible, and they will be there at any time, day or night, for you if you need help. They also have an online web chat. Beyond Blue also have an online web chat, and there's kids helplines as well that can help you at any time, day or night. So if you prefer texting, in Australia, not quite texting yet, but there's online chat rooms that you don't have to have a verbal conversation with
Exactly, and guess what? The crisis text line is working tirelessly to get into the Australian market and share their technology and help Australians all over your country.
Yes.
And they're here helping people all over mine. Steph, I love hearing from you. Listening to you all day is what I can do. I get to travel with this young lady all around the country. We're moving around the globe with the folks from our Conquer Collective team, CNQR, and let's tell you what that stands for. It's not pronounced CNQR, it's pronounced conquer, as in conquer your pain, conquer your struggles, conquer your worries, conquer your woes, and conquer your depression. CNQR, courage, normalize, question, recovery. The courage to talk about mental health is what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
Normalizing the conversation, check. Ask the questions when someone's in danger or someone's in pain and suffering silently. Are you in danger of suicide, and do you have a plan?
Yes.
And recovery, Steph, why? Why are we talking about recovery?
Because recovery and stories of recovery are scientifically proven. There's research everywhere that they help save lives and inspire hope in others who are suffering to know that life doesn't have to be full of pain. And yeah, days are going to be hard and Sundays are going to be, harder than others, tougher than others. But together and through sharing stories and acknowledging your pain, we can get through it.
Never silence your pain. Never silence your pain. Because when you bury your pain and you silence your pain, it bursts out in dangerous ways. Anger, aggression, rage, suffering, suicidal crisis. All of these things can occur when you suffer silently. Be honest about your pain, because that is the only way to purge it from your soul. Be honest about your pain because it's yours, it's valid, it's real, and it matters.
Yes.
Because you do, Steph.
Yep, and
because
you
you
do.
do. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. You are watching Hope Wins with
Steph
and Kev. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
So everyone, I just want to show you these shirts. These are the Be Here Tomorrow shirts. If you go on kevinhinesstory.com, you'll find that we actually have several different other ones as well. And all of the proceeds go to building suicide prevention programs and funding the film The Suicide, the Ripple Effect, sharing important messages of hope and recovery all around the world. So please go check them out and you will see that there's some really cool stuff on there.
And they're going to fit you. Bye, guys. That's weird.
That's funny.
Even though a couple true friends is essential, before you think big, well, you gotta think simple. Build your foundation and focus your mental. Start from the bottom, cop you a bento, man. Before you know it, you'll be rocking a benzo. People trying to hate, steady looking for insults.